Okay, so we're back again. Still working on this USB. In this video, as promised, we're going to be taking a look at some of the different sort of groove patterns that are in the side of this thing. Some of the bits that the clip from the first slider piece we created are going to groove into. So let's get into it. Here we go. I'm just going to take a look here at this thing. And first thing I see are the two rectangular sort of indentations right on the side panel. So let me just get to that one. Right here, right up by the front or around this neighborhood. And so I'm just gonna, start off same way I do everything else. Just take a look at what planes I have available, kind of try to decide a direction of attack. Okay, looks like the top plane can come down from the top plane, but when I look at the top plane and I look at how I'm building this model, it looks like I'm going to need to create a new plane kind of over the model. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just hold down the control button and just drag a plane right off the top. Okay, once I got that plane in place, I'll right click on it, start up a sketch, and I'll look normal too. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is just quickly grab my corner rectangle and do my best to lay down a rectangle here that overlaps over into the cut extrude, just like you see there, and just like you also see inside of the part itself when you're measuring. So then with my calipers, you see how I just lay that down just super easy without any dimensions on it. I'm going to start getting dimensions now. Let me just quickly do that. 2.71 is the first dimension I find from this edge here to this edge here is 2.71. There you go. Now then the actual size of the indentation itself is, in my book, it's reading at about, again, it's like 2.74. Okay. And then I should have a distance from the very top of that rectangle to the edge, which is about 1.35. So the way that I'm going to do that, I'm going to do a dimension from here to this edge, 1.35. Okay. Quickly just trying to think anything else I need. That should do the trick. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly do a cut extrude. Right, and then with this cut extrude, I think what I'll do, let me just quickly measure the depth of that. It's very small, but it's about, I don't know, it's about 0.65 of a millimeter. I'm going to tell the cut extrude to actually, let's see here, let's see if we can tell it to start from a surface and then go here. Nope, that's not going to work, because when you look normal to on this sketch, you see that it actually overlaps over two different surfaces. This one out here and then this green one here. So we're not going to get a chance to do that. Okay. Well, let's see here. What else could we do? Why don't we just extrude cut down? And we will use a very precise technique called eyeballing it. I'm just going to go into that and just cut that hole just right out of there. And then what I'm going to do is I'll use my measure tool, evaluate, measure, and I'm going to measure from here to here, and it says something I don't want. Let me just clear the selections. From this point to this point is about 0.83 millimeters. So 0.83, 1 millimeter, I say that's pretty much close enough. I'm going to call it right there. All right, so we'll go with that. Next up, I'm going to take another quick look at the rest of this model here. Okay, we got another rectangle that's going to be on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing I did before and just start up a sketch on this plane. And I'm going to go and get this rectangle out. And again, I'm just going to loosely draw a rectangle. And then I'm going to grab my Smart Dimension tool and I'm going to define everything I can about it. So how far away is that? I got like 1.7. Okay. And then, oh, it's got to be something different than that. Come on. That's wrong. Whoops. 2.7. Okay. Good, good. And then what's the actual size of it? I'm like right around 2.6. And then this distance from okay, so that's just about as good as it's going to get. So I'm going to go over here to features and do an extruded cut. I'm going to grab this sketch and I'm going to tell the sketch to go this direction. I'm going to tell it to go down until it lines up with another surface. It's going to be this surface here. So that's just going to tell them both to go the same depth. Okay, so even though the sketch is, or the surface is way over here, I can still use the up to surface command on my cut extrude to kind of, again, I'm using parts of my model to help build precision. Okay, there's that. All right, feeling good about that. And there you go. So we're at 640 on this video so far. And then we've got a really intricate little cut to make here. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking we're almost ready to go. Here's how it's going to happen. Okay, so if you look at your USB stick, you'll see there's this little kind of lazy boy type groove in the thing. And that's for when you press down on your USB and slide it forward, it goes along that track. So, okay, so I'm thinking the way to handle this is probably going to be kind of working off of this interior surface, actually. When I look at that detail, I feel like it should be a side cut from the inside of this hole in the USB over towards the edge. So I'm actually going to start a sketch right on this surface. And then I'm going to look normal to the surface. And it looks like I'm going to have to go and draw this thing upside down even. It's kind of a bummer, huh? Let's see here. What I really want to do is look at it this way. So I'm not going to look at it in full side view. I'm actually going to eyeball it a little bit in perspective here just because I can do that. All right, let me go back to shaded mode if that's the way it's going to be. And I'm going to grab my line tool and I'm going to line up my line tool here with a vertical line. And I'm going to change that to a construction line. And then I'm going to kind of measure how far away from the edge of that first cut extrude that I made to the start of where the surface starts to kind of dip down. What's that distance? And I'm getting about 2.5 millimeters. So I'm going to go and I'm going to say, all right, from here to here is 2.5. Okay. And then that kind of slide there travels along until it finally hits back up with the top surface. And it's about 1.5 millimeters away from the other edge. And just follow along, just keep watching to see what I'm up to here. Okay. All right, now this is crazy, but it looks like on the right side of the model there's a bit that actually goes up a little higher than this surface here. So I'm going to do a very special trick. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to actually go up before I did those center lines. And I'm going to go to this surface here and start a sketch on this surface here, and I'm going to go convert entities. And what this does is it copies the edges of that surface and creates a sketch right there. Convert entities. You see that when I hit the button with that selected surface, I get a line there. And now I can go features and I can go boss extrude, and I can go, and I'm just going to add an extra millimeter here and just extend that surface up 1 millimeter just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take my timeline bar and I'm going to pull it back down to reveal those two, these two construction lines. And then I'm going to just grab my line tool if I can. Here it is, line tool. Sorry, my model just flipped around on me there. Here you go. And I'm going to select this face here and start up a sketch. Okay, and I'm going to go on this surface over, and I'm paying really close attention right now to the fact that I see that horizontal relation right there. We get to about where I'm in line with this construction line. All right, that's going to be that. And I'm going to grab a spline. Okay, and I'm just going to draw a line that's similar. Okay, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but I'm going to say at least it's similar to what I see in that groove there. Then I'll grab my line tool again over here because I want a flat top. Okay. All right, now I want to make sure this line is right in line with this. So let me actually look normal to my sketch. Sorry. I want to look from this direction. Come on. There you go. There we go. And now I can look at this line too, and I can actually kind of set this thing up a little bit. I'm just going to put a quick little horizontal right there. And some stuff like this. There you go. So it just means, and then what I'm going to do is here I'm going to take another line tool and I'm going to just draw a piece of line work up over the rest of this form that I created, and I'm going to attach it right to this cut line. See how that's going to work? And then I'm going to do a cut, an extruded cut, and I'm going to take the top edge right off of there. Okay. Let's just take a look at how that's coming out. Probably go two directions a little bit. There you go. Just slice that piece right off. Oh, I didn't make it all the way through. Oh, gosh. Intensity. Here we go. Come on. There we go. All right. So that's that. Needs a little work, right? Sort of accidentally chopped right through here, but that's okay because I know that I've got a little tab that's sticking off of there. So I kind of fill a hole with that. Let me just go here to my see my plane. You know what I'll do is I'll actually start up a plane right on this, or I'll start up a sketch right on this surface here, and I'll look normal too. And then I'm just going to go and I'm going to draw a real simple little rectangle right here just to cover up that little blemish. And I'm just looking at my model too. I see it in there. It's like a little tab that sticks off to the side. There we go. All right, cool. So now I'm just going to go do a nice little boss extrude right down into my model. And I'm going to have that go, you know, what, like 0.8 maybe All it needs to do is fill up a little groove I took out of the thing. Maybe it's even going to be like 0.5. There you go. I think that's about it. There you go. So that has now given me the tab that I need on the side to click into the rest of the part. Plus I've got this nice little groove ramp thing here. So I'm feeling really good about the amount of detail that I got going on here. Let me hide this plane. I'm going to right click on that plane and hide it. And then just kind of take a look at my work. And I'm feeling pretty good about all of this. Notice again how I'm just building half of it. Okay. Hopefully you're following along. Okay, stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to start the process of mirroring some of these things over. And also, those tabs that snap into the rest of the model, they're coming too. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Hey, listen, thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.